Hi everyone, my name is Taylor, and in this video, I'm going to show you some of my favorite ways to personalize a design in Canva. When you sign up for Canva for education, you get access to so many more free features that come in handy when you want to make a design more visually appealing. Here are the boxes I like to check when I'm creating a worksheet or a design in Canva. These are the things that make a big impact on your project and engage students and viewers. First, it's time to choose some fonts for the page. This makes a big visual impact on the design because it sets the tone and the feel. Using more than one font can bring interesting contrast to the design and show your students where they should focus their attention. Next, you can add some elements to your design. Elements are shapes, images, or graphics that can bring attention to desired places or add visual appeal. Last, it's important to consider the color palette for this design. Will you be printing it out and making copies? Are you wanting a color or black and white design? Many schools limit the amount of color copies being printed, so it's important to keep that in mind. You don't need a colorful worksheet to make it visually engaging. In the last video, we created this simple worksheet together. It gets the job done, but it lacks personalization. Let's head into Canva to learn how to give your design some personal touches. All right, we're in the Canva home screen, and I'm going to click on our finished design from the last video to begin editing it. The first thing we should change is our fonts. The current font is Canva Sans. It just feels really impersonal. If you click on text, the fonts will show up on the top left of the editing screen. This is where you'll have access to hundreds of great, unique fonts. It can be hard to choose sometimes, so I like to use the recommended section for some inspiration. I'm going to change up the fonts on this worksheet. I mentioned earlier that it can be important to include some contrast in the fonts that you choose to create visual appeal on the page. Using fonts that are complementary to each other makes your design feel more cohesive. After using this fun font for the title and all of the problems, I'm going to choose something that will contrast it for the name and for the date because I don't want students to forget those things. Okay, next let's add some elements. It's always good to put some sort of text box or element around your title to make it stand out. Come over to the left and click Elements and type in text box. Okay, let's look through these. There's a lot of options. I think that this looks nice. Let's size this to fit our title and our name and date. So you'll notice that the text box that we just added actually covered up the lines that we had for our name and our date. So those lines are hidden behind the text box. So we're going to come up to the top editing bar up here and click Position. This will allow us to send this element backwards in our design so that everything else is on top of it. So let's click that. And now we can see those lines again. The next thing I want to add for elements are some circles to emphasize each question number. I'm going to come over to our elements search bar and type in circles. I'm going to look and find one that I like, and then I'm going to add these and jump ahead to when I'm done. Okay, after adding some elements, I think our worksheet is already looking a lot more cohesive. The last thing I need to do before finalizing our worksheet is to add a color palette that will be appealing to my students and personal to me. You can change the color of any element or text by clicking on the item and then coming up to the color palette button above. Here you can type in a color name or browse colors. I want a pastel color palette for this worksheet, so I'm going to make these changes and we can take a look at our final worksheet. Okay, here is our finished worksheet. I added a color palette that is fun and engaging. I also made the worksheet in black and white to show you that it can be printed both ways. Let's take a look at the before and after of our worksheet. Comparing the before to the after shows us how important it is to let your personality shine when you create a design in Canva. The details are small, but they make a huge difference. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you!